Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Dr. Felicia Wong, who is here on behalf of Kaiser Permanente, and she is the Assistant Chief of Psychiatry for Orange County, and she's got some great information for us regarding potential holiday blues. Well, Dr. Wong, thank you for joining me.
And thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. Now, I kind of prefaced that we were going to maybe talk about the holiday blues, and you know, there is a real science behind holiday blues of depression and anxiety. But tell me overall what it is.
Absolutely. So the holiday blues refers to this feelings of extra sadness or stress and anxiety that many people go through during the months of November and December. I think many of us can relate to this being a very busy season with a lot of demands and expectations on us. From social gatherings to selecting and presenting gifts to loved ones to just navigating a bunch of holiday cheer that surrounds us. And for many of us, while this is a joyful and festive period, it can also be a period of loneliness, of increased stress because of the you're running around trying to get everything done. So perhaps some of us aren't taking as good care of us as we need or we usually do. And all that can kind of build up to just feeling a little bit more worn down and not as well, both physically and mentally. So seasonal blues or the holiday blues is not a clinical syndrome, but it is a syndrome that, we want to recognize and acknowledge that many of us go through. And hopefully today we can talk about some strategies that we can implement to combat that and stay as healthy and well feeling as we can.
No, I think that's a great idea. And I also wanted to say that once the holidays are over, then you've got new stressful situation is how are you going to make the new year a better one than last year? Or,
right.
You might not have all that much to be saying, oh, a new year, I've got all these things I have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So for many people, the holiday blues is just temporary from November and December. And then when the new year starts, they kind of settle into the new year, new routines, and they kind of fall back into the groove. But for some people, if that sadness or that stress continues, then that might be a sign to seek support. At least talk to your friends and families, and maybe even talk to your primary care doctor.
Okay. Perfect. Well, let's get into some of those things because I'm sure that our viewers are saying, well, I've been dealing with a lot of these things, and they've been sort of exasperated by the pandemic, and people have been home a lot, and now we're back in a mask mandate again until the middle part of January.
Right.
So it's almost like you're a little worried about going forward. But if you focus on some of the things that you've mentioned, maybe those things won't seem so bad.
Absolutely. So I think the most important message right now is to take care of yourself. I think, a lot of us are used to hearing now, it's become a very catchy phrase, like self-care is not selfish, fill your cup. But I can't emphasize this enough. It's so important because when we are drained, we tend to be a little bit moodier, a little bit crankier, a little bit just short. And when we are feeling well, that's when we can be, we can connect with others better, we can enjoy things more, and we're also more enjoyable to be with. And so self-care is so important. And I think everyone really needs to give ourselves some grace during this season and just think about what do we need and what are my boundaries so that I can make the most of this season.
Right. Now, one thing that you mentioned, is obviously keeping a healthy lifestyle overall, but, limiting alcohol, especially, and avoid overeating. Well,
absolutely.
Exact things that we do during this time.
Yes. So some basic things is that during this holiday season, it's a season of excess. And in some ways that's really fun. But in other ways, we don't feel good when we drink a little too much or we overeat. Or if we're not getting enough sleep, all of us become, more irritable or have difficulty concentrating when we aren't taking care of our bodies. So those are some important steps to just be mindful of as we, go through this season and festivities.
Okay. Now, many of us may not be able to visit our families, and that has been like that for some time. So
Right.
thank goodness for Zoom. Obviously, we could pick up the phone and call them too. What are some things that you would like to see people do if they are getting together with family for the holidays?
I think that if, we're in a different place than last year, thankfully. A year ago, we didn't have widespread vaccine access. I think now most adults and a lot of children have the opportunity to get vaccinated. Many have. And so I think that definitely creates a safer opportunity for gatherings if they occur. My general recommendation is to gather with close family, close friends, and those who you feel safe with. I think thankfully in California, we do have the opportunity to gather outdoors at times, should we choose to. It's certainly getting chilly, but we can go on walks together. There are some outdoor options and venues that we can still gather. And if indoors, I'd say use your discretion. If people are not feeling well, just be very communicative to each other, share that information and stay home, But if you are feeling well, I think that seeing people is very, very important, something that most of us passed on last year. And I do encourage people to do so, just with some mindful considerations.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate all of the information that you have given us. I think those are super helpful, especially, as we make it to 2022.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we'll be right back after this.